Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Honor to him, the blessed one, the worthy one, the fully enlightened one. Hello everyone, welcome to our Wednesday Q&A series and live Q&A session, and really happy to see you all here, and we are looking forward to hearing from you more questions, and I'm actually happy to help you if I can to answer your questions. All right, so yes, so everyone is welcome, and I can see Kim Gordon from Maine. Okay. And also Alyssa from Florida, and Julie from Canada, many different countries. Thank you so much for joining. And so let us start with a short guided meditation, okay? And then we will answer your questions, and keep your questions ready after this guided meditation for a short while. Okay, let us close our eyes gently and compassionately, and then take a good long deep breath. Hold it for a few seconds, and then slowly release and relax. Keep your body straight and your head straight, shoulders relaxed, palm on each other, placing them on your lap or palms on your knees, whichever comfortable way you can sit, it's fine, but try to keep your back and your head straight. Also, when you close your eyes, it should be gentle, not so tight. It's so important that we pay attention to the nostril and the upper lip when we breathe in and breathe out. To begin with any meditation, you can select any object, but here we are going to practice little bit anapanasati, breath meditation, and then switching to metta meditation, loving kindness. So let us focus on our breath, incoming and outgoing breaths. Focus on your nostril when you breathe in and feel the sensation over there. See how the incoming breath touches the nostril, and you feel a different sensation than when you breathe out. The sensation in the upper lip area is different. See for yourself when breathing in and breathing out. When you practice this anapanasati or breath meditation, it is so important to keep your body straight, especially the upper part of the body, and your respiratory system should function smoothly. Then your breathing in and breathing out should work seamlessly, and you should be absolutely silent so that you can listen to your own breath. Absolutely silent in the sense you are unmoved. Do not move your body. Keep it unmoved. And then try to observe every single breath in and out. And then when we have this anapanasati for a while, we can slowly and gently switch to body scanning. Scan your own body. Also focus different sensations if you have in your body. Tightness, numbness, pain, discomfort somewhere if you have in your body. Pause for a while. Stay there. Pay attention to that area. Send loving kindness to that area. If not, send loving kindness to the entire body in general. For the well being and happiness and good health of yourself. Same way, we can practice loving kindness to benefit the other people around. Over here, when we practice loving kindness, just as we send loving kindness to ourselves, with the same intention, we can send loving kindness to all sentient beings. Let us start with something like those people who are practicing right here, right now. Those people who are close to your life. Those who are loved ones to you. Benefactors, well wishers to you. Maybe your parents, maybe your spouse, children, siblings, family members, friends, relatives, teachers, elders. We can think of them and send loving kindness for the well being and happiness and good health of all of them. You can actually use your breath, incoming and outgoing breath, also as a source of energy to send loving kindness to yourself and to others. At least think of one such a person who was so close to you that you are grateful and thankful today. Start with one person and then expand to all the other benefactors, well wishers, loved ones, near and dear ones. Send loving kindness to each and every one of them. And then send loving kindness to your neutral ones. Think of one such a person. You know that person, but you are not so close to that person. Neither you are unfriendly with such person, that person. Send loving kindness to that person for the well-being and happiness and good health of that person. See, when you do that, you are also so full of loving kindness and compassion within yourself, and with that powerful energy you share that loving kindness with the other person, the neutral person. There are so many millions and millions of neutral persons in the world. We definitely need to send loving kindness to all of them. We don't want any of them to turn hostile towards you, towards us. So we practice loving kindness to neutral ones. And then the more challenging part, practicing loving kindness, sharing this powerful metta even to the next level, the challenging one, the unfriendly one. Think of one such a person that you were slightly upset today or in the recent past, that you were angry or you had an argument with someone in the recent past. Either that person was disliking you, hating you, hurting you, or you were upset and mad with that person in the recent past, at least to a certain extent. We send loving kindness to such unfriendly ones, to all the unfriendly ones. I'm sure not many, maybe just a few. Let us send loving kindness to all those unfriendly ones for the well being and happiness and good health of all the unfriendly ones. Then we need to send loving kindness to all sentient beings. Now, when we say all sentient beings, it could be the loved ones, it could be the neutral ones, it could be the unfriendly ones, it could be everyone, all inclusive sentient beings, children and elders, men and women, All sentient beings, seen and unseen, near and far, strong and weak, short and long, skybound, earthbound, waterbound, all sentient beings. May they all be well and happy and healthy. Think of their well being and happiness and good health. Use your breath to invoke blessings upon yourself and everyone else. Now take a good long deep breath and hold it for a few seconds. And then slowly release and relax. Now gently and compassionately open your eyes with a more wholesome, positive energy towards yourself and towards everyone else. All right. Okay. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. Again, I would like to mention that on Wednesday we do have this Q&A session, live Q&A session, to help benefit our wonderful, wonderful friends who are joining us from different parts of the world. Okay, so last time I actually gave homework. Julie said, "Thank you for the homework. Help me with mindfulness." So I mentioned about that sutta. Julie, would you like to remind me the sutta? And I also would like to mention that I received a summary of the sutta from Jojo. I received the summary also right away, and very happy to see that. And thank you also, Jayanta Fernando, joining from New Jersey, Priyangi from Sri Lanka, and Shanaka Madhushankar also joining here. Thank you for joining. Yeah, Vitakka Santana Sutta, the relaxation of thoughts. That was the sutta that I asked you to take a look and send me the summary of that sutta. That would be very nice. Yeah, it was really helpful. And Vitakka Santana Sutta gives us some techniques to how to deal with certain emotions when we have. And it's really helpful in our day-to-day life when we get angry or sadness or whatever, how to train ourselves not to be disturbed. So it's very, very important that we think of that. Practice this is really key. Thank you, Chamara, Nalinda, Vitana Arachige also for joining. Right. So if you do have any other question today with regard to our previous discussion, or if you have new question, I would like to help you. While you post your question, I would like to answer to a question asked by Dulani. Okay, she has sent me different questions already. Okay, over here, the question that she sent. In our culture, we often associate phrases such as Theruvan Saranai and Buddhu Saranai when we are with our parents and monastics. However, why do we say Buddhu Saranai as a way of saying good night in the night. Yeah, I think in many Buddhist countries, they do say like their own way, like Namo Buddhaya, homage to the Buddha. It's also a way of greeting people. And when we say, I remember like in our country, whenever we answer to a phone call or so, we start with Theruvan Saranai or Buddhu Saranai. Theruvan Saranai means may the triple gem bless you. Buddhu Saranai means may the Buddha bless you. So we start with that greeting, blessing to someone. And if you are a Buddhist particularly, it will be very helpful. So if we know someone is a Buddhist, then we say that. Sometimes it becomes a habit that we would also greet the same way to other non-Buddhist friends also. We have a lot of non-Buddhist friends, I would say, and they also are very good with us. They also greet with the same, like Theruvan Saranai or Buddhu Saranai. Yeah, it has become an integral part of the culture. So Theruvan Saranai means may the Buddha Dhamma Sangha triple gem bless you. Buddha Saranai means may the Buddha bless you. So like sometime even in the night, if you want to say good night, that is more Western tradition greeting. Good night. May the night be good to you, and may the night be peaceful to you. That's a really nice way to um, greet someone when they depart. And in Buddhist countries, they say Buddhu Saranai, thinking that may the night be full of peace again with the blessings of the Buddha. That is why we say Buddhu Saranai. That becomes an important practice again. So, yeah, that is why we say good night. We say Buddhu Saranai instead of saying good night. Yeah, I hope it was helpful. Yeah, any other question from you? If not, maybe I will take another question from here. I have a few more questions. Okay. I hope you can hear me well too. Please let me know. Okay, so the other question that we have is, can you explain more about the idea of no self and how this teaching can help us as practitioners to apply these teachings to our practice? So, yes. So, no self means there is no permanent entity, right? If we think of our own body, like if you think of each and every part of the body, you need to see if you get angry or if you actually have something permanent here. Let's say like my eye or my nose, my tongue, my ear, or your bodily other 32 body parts like hair or skin or body hair or head hair, skin or other different parts of the body. If you take each and every one of them, can we see any of them as permanent? No, nothing is permanent. And you see the change. What happens when you see the change? When you see the change, you don't like it. Especially like when you are a little kid, you become so nice, so adorable, right? Everyone loves you. And then when you grow older and older, that beautiful glowing skin is fading. You see the wrinkles. You see the color of the skin changing. You see, you are becoming like old. Your eyesight is weaker. Your ears are weaker. Your taste, your teeth, everything, even your joints, not so strong like before, right? So you don't like that change. You want to be stronger every single day, better looking and loved by many, and you always want to be like everlasting, evergreen, young and exuberant. But it doesn't happen. When there is a change, what happens? You don't like it. When you don't like it, what happens? You feel sad, you feel even angry sometimes. So that is why when there is impermanence, there is suffering. And if there is something not permanent, something suffering, that means it is not permanent. So we see change happening. We see because of the change, suffering happens. And then we see we can control things. I want to be young forever. I want to be better forever. For example, let us say the athletes, the young, thriving athletes in the world Olympics. So one person, like let's say, let's take 100 meters run. 100 meters every year, we get the most powerful young people, men and women, to run for the 100 meters. And every time we see new faces coming, it's so hard to maintain the same strength every year. Every year, hundreds and hundreds of new men and women come, and then when you compete with each other, someone else is becoming victorious. And then what happens? When the other one becomes victorious and you become a loser, you don't feel happy. You feel sad. You feel dejected. You feel even angry with the opponent. That is the problem. So this change is happening every single thing in our life. Whether we think of our own bodily functions, or whether we think of our other performances, our memory power, you know our seen, visible, visionary capacity, and our hearing capacity, even taste, smells, uh, all the things change, and we feel decay, and we feel impermanence, and then we feel suffering. That is why it's not so good. And that makes us sad. That makes us down. And we can see we have no controlling power to that. And if you have a power to control, okay, let's say like if I am the Lord, if I am the owner, I should be able to control it. But I can't do it. So if you have controlling power, then you can say I have permanent entity. Because you don't have it, it is said you don't have any permanent entity. That is why yada nichang tang dukkhang yang dukkhang tadanatta. If something is impermanent, that is suffering. If something is suffering, that is impermanent. Like there is no permanent entity. There's a nice, very nice sutta called Kachana Gutta Sutta, Samyutta Nikaya 1215, Kachana Gutta Sutta. In this sutta, Buddha talks about this wonderful theory. Over here, in this sutta, the Buddha has a discussion with Kachanagota, Venerable Kachanagota. And Venerable Kachanagota asks a question from the Buddha, Kittavat sammaditthi bhanteti uchyati. Sammaditthi bhante uchyati. People say, right view. And Kittavatanko bhante sammaditthi hoti. How is their right view? Then the Buddha said, Dvaya nisito kwayang kachana loko ye bhuyena attitancheva nattitanche. Kachana, most of this world relies on a duality, existence and non-existence. Okay, now two things we see, like this is called duality, existence and non-existence. Loka samudayan ko yathabhutang sammapanyaya passato ya loke nattita sa na hoti. That means, but one who accurately and wisely sees the arising of the world does not believe in non-existence. Now, when you see the world is changing, arising and the ceasing, cessation is happening, somebody can see that. So that person cannot believe there is non-existence. We see that. Existence does not believe in non-existence. Loka nirodhanchako yathabhutam sammapanyaya passato ya loke attita sana hoti. And one who accurately and wisely sees the cessation of the world does not believe in existence. Now, in these two together, we can see when someone sees the existence and the non-existence or the cessation of the world, so that person, those two does not believe. Those two do not believe in existence and non-existence. Then Kachana, most of this world is bound by attachment, grasping, and inflexibility. So this is, many of us have this thing. Either we have this attachment, we grasp things, and we have this inflexibility. Then what happens? When one does not engage in that tendency towards attachment, grasping, mental rigidity and inflexibility, one does not grasp at or form a rigid viewpoint about myself. So when someone actually sees the reality here, when someone says there is no grasping or attachment to something or someone, that person actually has the right view. Okay, that is the right view. And so one does not grasp at or form a rigid viewpoint about myself. Okay, you can say there is no rigid viewpoint about oneself. Then, and one does not doubt that it is just dukkha that arises and dukkha that ceases. So that person can see only dukkha arises and dukkha ceases. Let us say like the pain inside, let us say some pain in the knee. Pain arises and pain ceases. That person can see that. And one's knowledge of this does not depend on others. It is in this way, Kachana, that there is right view. So right view means knowledge of this that does not depend on others. And the knowledge that there is a right view means cessation, the arising of the dukkha and arising of the cessation of the dukkha. Now, there are two more things. Everything exists. This is one extreme. Some people think everything exists. Like we even can see like me, I exist. Or everything, the computer exists. Or everything exists. That is one extreme. Okay, Attita. That is called Attita. And then there is another one called nothing exists. There is nothing. Nothing exists. This is the second. These are both two extremes according to the Buddha. Buddha said, without going to these extremes. The Tathagata teaches the Dhamma by the middle. So, Ubho ante anupagam majjhima patipada, the majjhena Tathagato dhammang deseti, without going to either extreme, that everything exists or nothing exists. Buddha did not go to any of those extremes. Buddha would teach the Dhamma in the middle path. And over here in this sutta, remember Kacchanagotta Sutta, okay? In Kacchanagotta Sutta, Buddha explains the Paticca Samuppada, dependent origination, so wonderfully, so beautifully. Avidya Pachya Sankhara, Sankhara Pachya Vijnana. Dependent on ignorance, there are formations, Sankhara, formations. Dependent on formations, there is consciousness. So when you have formations, then you have consciousness. And Vijnana Pachya Nama Rupang, Nama Rupa Pachya Salayatana. When you have consciousness, dependent on consciousness, there is mind and body. And dependent on mind and body, there are the six senses. Six senses. Ear, eye, ear, nose, tongue, body, and also the mind. These are the faculties, and through which we can have sixfold senses. And so, salayatana, pachya, passo, passa pachya vedana, when we have some contacts through these sixfold faculties, then we have Vedana, feeling. When I see a form through the eye, whether either I like it or I don't like it. So I like or dislike. These two things can happen. Neutral feeling can also happen. So in that way, neutral is better than liking or disliking. When we like, we have greed. When we don't like, we have ill will or anger. And both of them actually are based on ignorance, avidya. And what happens with the others also same. Ear, nose, tongue, and the body and the mind, everything. Whether we like it, either we like it or dislike it. Then what happens? Vedana pachya tanha. Because of that, we have what do you call craving. Because of the sensation dependent on feeling, there is craving. Just like when I like the form, I have craving. And also, craving also is like the two sides of the same coin. Craving or anger or ill will. They are two sides of the same coin. So if you like it, you have craving. If you don't like it, you have anger, ill will. So Vedana Pachya Tanha. Tanha Pachya Upadanam. Dependent on craving, there is grasping. So like we average normal human beings, for example, we grasp it so powerfully. And when I like it, I have that memory with me and I want to keep it. I like that, so I want to keep that form. I want to see that form every time. If I like a sound, a beautiful song, let's say, or someone's very sweet voice, then you want to hear it all the time. You see how it happens, like how we grasp it. Same way, when we don't like it also, actually, we don't let it go, we grasp it. You see how we grasp it? And when you don't like someone, you have anger, you have angry, ill will thoughts. And so when you are angry with someone or something, it looks like after a while it goes away. But When you see that person or that thing later on, you will still get angry. The angry thought will come to you right away. And sometimes when you are angry, you can't even sleep properly. You can't even work properly. You can't even eat properly. See how these things can um, dismantle your inner peace so powerfully, so strongly. So that is why the the grasping is the problem. Craving is a problem too, but grasping can make even worse. So dependent on craving, there is grasping, and dependent on grasping, there is becoming. And now the um, upadana pachaya bhavo. So we have the becoming. We want to exist that thing, depending on that upadana. When we have existence, that means endless sufferings, countless sufferings will follow. Bhava pachya jati. You have existence means you have birth. When you have birth, that means you have jara marana, means decay and dying. And then soka parideva dukkha domana supayasa, that means grief, pain, depression, and anguish come to be. They all happen because of our birth. Now, after birth, we get old, we get sick, we have dissociation with like unpleasant ones, pleasant ones, and association with unpleasant ones. Um, getting what we don't like and not getting what we like, and everything becomes suffering. So that is why in the sutta, Kachana Gutta Sutta, okay? Kachana Gutta Sutta, when Buddha replies to Kachana Gutta about the samadhi and about the impermanence. And then the other way around also explain, that is how this whole mass of dukkha arises. Now when we see the arising, that means existence, and then one by one the cessation of this existence also is explained. However, when through dispassion ignorance completely ceases, formation ceases. Now when you have dispassion, now this is another thing that we need to learn. We have these sufferings, we have this dependent origination because of that one thing, dependent on one thing, the other follows, other happens, and then we need to practice dispassion. When we practice dispassion, then we have a technique to get rid of ignorance, avidya. And when we have through dispassion, ignorance completely ceases. And when we have through dispassion, ignorance completely ceases, formations also cease. Now if sankara was the result of avidya, when you get rid of sankara, when you get rid of avidya, the sankara will not happen, it will cease. And same thing, um, when formation cease, consciousness cease. When consciousness cease, mind and body cease. When mind and body cease, six senses cease. When six senses cease, contact ceases. When contact ceases, feeling ceases. When feeling ceases, craving ceases. When craving ceases, grasping ceases. When grasping ceases, becoming ceases. When becoming ceases, birth ceases. When birth ceases, decay and dying cease. And sorrow, grief, pain, depression, and anguish also cease. That is how this whole mass of dukkha ceases. Now, the entire Paticca Samuppada, dependent origination, is a wonderful, wonderful theory for us to train ourselves about the samadhi right view, and also about the duality, like existence and non-existence, and also about the impermanence, eventually the final liberation. So this is a really nice sutta. I would really recommend everyone to read more about this sutta. Maybe chant every single day with the meaning, and then practice meditation. That will be nice. You will get a lot of training, how to practice this beautiful theory. We need to actually constantly remind these things to us. That will really help us. Okay, Jojo. Jojo Z. I lasted 0 minutes in the anger challenge. Mad, my husband made me sick, but laughed with him about it. Okay. So we also actually had a discussion about this. I was challenging you. Can you not get angry for the whole week? Okay. Should we continue next week? So now let us forget the past week if you got angry. Okay. Now from this day onward, let us practice another 7 day of not getting angry. I would say actually you should, as I mentioned, I showed you um, the chart. Okay, do I have it here? So if you can actually practice that chart, make something like a chart, like you can mark 7 days if you get angry. That will be nice. Try that one, and let us say if you can practice not getting angry. You have to be immediately alert. You have to be extremely mindful about this. And remember, when you do that, if you can laugh when you are angry, if you can really smile from the bottom of your heart, really sincerely, honestly, if you can smile when you are angry, then the anger will not only be gone, but also it will purify your blood. If it will help you sustain your inner strength so powerfully. So please continue to practice this, and continuously remind this. And also don't worry if you have someone who can irritate you at your office or at your home. And don't worry, I think it will be a good challenge to you. Okay, it will be really nice if you have someone like that, because then you are constantly reminded, no matter what, I'm not going to get angry. I'm not going to get angry no matter what. And this person is really helping me. Imagine, like you say, this person is really helping me. Then you will also not get angry. Plus, you read the sutta today, Kachanagutta Sutta. Sangyutta Nikaya 12:15, Kachanagutta Sutta. You read it again and see everything happens because of our ignorance, or our attachment, or our grasping, or something, our liking and disliking. You see it for yourself, and when you grasp, you get angry, you have upadana, and you know that it is your fault, not that person's fault. Many times we actually put the blame on the others. I got angry because of that person's fault. Now you change that habit. And you think, I'm not angry because of other person. I am angry because of my own fault. So I have to accept it. I have to be humble about that. Okay, then it will be very helpful to you. Okay, let us continue this challenge for another 7 days. I hope Jojo will be able to continue. And also the other friends who have joined us today, I would like to also continue. Uh, Same, post the challenge to all of you as well. Okay, we have, hello Kumara, happy to see you. He's from Anuradhapura, Sri Lanka. Yeah, someone from our university I was working. Dhammika. Is it Dharmika? Bhante, does the fetter mean thinking or memory or perception or feeling or action? So, fetter means sangyojana. It is like a rope. It tightens us to the sansaric pole. 10 fetters there. We have 10 fetters like Dasa Sangyojana, 10 fetters. For example, Sakkaya Ditti, like the self-identity, right? I just talked about the self-identity here. So it can be thinking or memory or perception or feeling it or action, or it can be the combination of all of them. Because when we think of Sakkaya Ditti, Vichikicca, Silabbata Parama, Sakamaraga Patiga, Ruparaga, Aruparaga, Mana, Uddhacha, Avijja, they are the 10 fetters. And how all of these become so powerful and they all tied us to the samsara. When you think this body is mine, it's a very difficult thing to get rid of. I mean, that notion. Like if someone says to me something bad, how I feel hurt because of my sakkaya ditti, right? Have you ever noticed like goosebump? For example, when you are scared, you have goosebump, right? And then that means you have sakkaya ditti. If you are scared, means you already have sakkaya ditti. So sometimes, please think of it. Like you, sometimes people like feel jerk, okay, and you hear someone suddenly silently coming or to you, and sudden shock or something appear, and then you get scared. You have goosebumps sometimes. If you stay alone and suddenly hear a noise and you get scared, that means you have sakkaya ditti. That's a very clear suggestion that you still have a long way to go. So sakkaya ditti is one hindrance that we need to actually overcome. And you can actually challenge yourself. When you get angry, you can think, why should I get angry? Because of this body, because of these five aggregates, why should I get angry? Can you say, like, if you can say, like, um, one skeleton was saying something to another skeleton, that way maybe you can suppress your anger to a greater extent. Or you can also think, one bundle of aggregates was saying something to another bundle of aggregates. This is actually the truth. Like you can see, for example, when you watch a movie, okay, when you watch a movie, you can reduce the volume, make it completely silent, mute it, and then watch the movie, and you will see, like those people say this and that, and you see them like puppets. And sometimes people fight there, sometimes people uh, you know uh, hug each other or do many things, activities, and just like that, if you can think just like that. Or they are just forms, and they are just skeletons, or they are just cartoons and something like that. I am also part of it. And so someone said something bad to me, and that's another cartoon. I'm another cartoon. So why should I get angry? Something, somewhere you should find a way to cope up with that. Sakkaya Ditti, get rid of the Sakkaya Ditti. I mean, I know it is so difficult that if you are mindful, constantly remind yourself, hopefully one day you should be able to get rid of this. It is not impossible. It is pretty much possible, but we need to continue to learn the Dhamma, listen to the Dhamma, join discussions like this. That way we should be able to practice better. Okay. Yeah. So many things we can connect to our Sakkaya Ditti, like whatever feeling you have, when you see, like, I have Sakkaya Ditti, I have this self identity. As I mentioned, fear, goosebump, or sadness, or anger, all these things, those emotions, when those things, emotions happen, you can see whether you have Sakkaya Ditti or not. I hope that was helpful. Okay. And we also have Rohini Kanayaka. Nice to see you from Anuradhapura again, one of my students in the university. And Priyangi, and also Supajharo Dhammaduta. Oh, wonderful Thai monk who we were working together in. We had a peace walk together in, I think, Florida, and also in Italy. Yeah, nice to meet you, Venerable. Julie, is there always disliking in relation to liking and vice versa? Are the two always connected? Well, let us say I have a pen. Okay, I have a pen here, so I like it. So when you have it, you like it. And what happens when you don't have it? You don't like it. So as long as you have this, you like it, and the moment you don't have it, you don't like it. So it is just like this, the two sides of the same coin. And many things are just like that. When you have it, certain things, when you have, you like, and when you don't have, you don't like. Sometimes there are certain things when you have, you don't like, and when they don't have, you do like. So this existing and non-existing, and arising and cessation, can create liking or disliking among us. Did you notice that? Did you notice that sometime it happens to you when you graduate from the college, for example, how much happy you become, right? And when you pass an exam, how happy you become. And the other side is, when you don't pass, you feel not happy, you feel sad, even angry, and even jealous of others. All these things can happen to us. So all of them are part of this liking and disliking. It could be either, it depends on, like, Vedana can be pleasant, unpleasant, or neutral. So I think at the so pleasant can be better than unpleasant, and then neutral can be even better than pleasant or non-pleasant, and eventually even neutral feelings should be overcome. So mostly, if we can maintain that neutral feeling, that will be so much the better. Okay, I hope it was helpful. Sin Bhante Tanchayang upayupadānaṁ cetaso aditthānaṁ abhinivesanusayam na upeti na upadiyati naditthati attameti. You want to continue? Tanchayang upayupadānaṁ cetaso aditthānaṁ abhinivesanusayam na upeti na upadiyati naditthati attameti. So the question here, does this verse means our body still react to externality, but we acknowledge them and not dragged by it? So I think you were talking about this Kachanagutta Sutra. Yes, so in the Kachanagutta Sutta, it is said, but when one does not engage in that tendency towards attachment, grasping, mental rigidity, and flexibility, and one does not grasp at or form a rigid viewpoint about myself, this is about internal. Okay, this is mostly about internal, but this internal attachment or grasping or mental rigidity happens when you contact something external, when you contact something through your faculties with something external. Let us say I see a form. I see, let's say, I see the sky. Okay, sky is something external, and then internally, I have eyes, and all of them. Actually, if we talk about the absolute truth, nothing exists. But we also have to talk about them with the mundane truth. So it is also important. We need to have both of them. Sammuti Satya and Paramatta Satya. So if we talk about the mundane way, we can see the sky, that is external, and then we can see through the eye, that is internal, and then eye and the ear and eye and the sky, and then the vijnana, the consciousness that identifies or recognize the sky. Thinnam sangati passo. So when you have those three things combined, then you have the contact and passa pachaya vedana. Because of the contact, we have feeling. So if I like the sky, that could be pleasant. And some people don't like the sky. Let us say now the sky is so full of dark clouds, and some people like rains again. They like rain. So when you see dark clouds, oh, nice. For example, in California, you see dark clouds means you have rain, and then California needs a lot of rain, so people like it. But some people, if it was raining too many days, too much rain, and then people also don't, it is a lot of rain now, it is enough of rain, so people don't like it. So when they see the dark cloud, you either like it or do not like it. So you say tinna sangati passo passa pachya vedana, and vedana pachya tanha. So tanha means craving or this anger that can happen, and then it makes even more grasping. And it is said, when one does not engage in that tendency towards attachment, then one does not grasp at or form a rigid viewpoint about myself. If someone can get rid of that tendency, then that is a really powerful thing. That is a good improvement. So one does not doubt that it is just dukkha that arises and dukkha that ceases. You see now, the rain happens and it is suffering, and then it happens and then it goes away. It ceases. It arises and ceases. and with everything else it is the same. Let us say like you have hunger, you are hungry now, so you have food here, so you eat it, and then the hunger will be gone. So hunger rises, hunger ceases. And then later on, if you eat a lot, again, the very same liking can become a disliking, discomfort for you, and you don't even like it. If you eat a lot, you are so full, you cannot do anything, you feel like very drowsy. Then also it is a problem. You see now the same thing, the liking has very fraction of a second, or like just as almost the same thing, but it is the same, two sides of the same coin, liking and disliking. This thing can be there. Yeah. So still react to externally, but not we acknowledge them and not dragged by it. So that is the thing. Like when you react to that situation, when you react to something outside, then you create karma. If you can be neutral, then you don't create karma, right? You see the sky and you don't get angry, and then it is fine. You are so engrossed with it and you really love it, and then you also make some karma. And if you can make it neutral, not too excited or not too upset about that, then you actually don't create sankhara or karma. Yeah. So the contact thing should, when that happens, you have to be really mindful. You have to be really mindful. It is said when there was a monk who was practicing on bones or skeleton, and we call Attika Bhavana. The monk was walking along the street and he saw a woman, a pretty young woman who was smiling at him. And the monk was practicing still the meditation on bone, and he was just practicing. And it is said when he saw the woman smiling and he saw only the teeth, and when he saw the teeth, his meditation on bone immediately connected with the teeth, and then he saw the complete skeleton of the woman. He saw the absolute truth about the body. So normally we see through the eyes the mundane truth, but this time the monk saw the absolute truth, the whole skeleton. He saw that he could pierce through the skin, and he saw just like the X-ray. He saw that, and then he failed. He was able to actually attain the enlightenment, it is said, because he saw the reality, and it helped him saw the reality and went to the next level, transcend to the next level of his practice. So yeah, we need to train ourselves somehow. It is not easy, but we need to continue to train ourselves. Okay. I think with that, I would like to conclude today, because we have another event. It is also past 7. And I would like to again introduce you one sutta today. That is Kakachupama Sutta. Okay? Kakachupama Sutta. This is Majjhima Nikaya. This is Majjhima Nikaya 21. Let me also share the link with you so that you can really take a look. And so what I want is read this sutta. And this will be also very helpful. We can talk about that sutta later on. And please send me a summary of this sutta if possible. Okay? So Kakachupama Sutta, summary of the sutta, and let us see how powerful it becomes for your patients. And yeah, so you can send it to me to this email address, info@dhammausa.com. All right. So thank you everyone again for joining. And we also have some people I could not mention. Hasahi Kavi, and also Sin, and also Ratana Kittihimi. And thank you for joining. Thank you everyone for joining today. Many people joined, and also appreciate your enthusiasm to learn the Dhamma. And I hope this will also help us in applying the Dhamma into our day-to-day practice. Yeah, learning the Dhamma is one thing, but applying the Dhamma in our day-to-day practice is something different. So let us try that. Even little Dhamma we know, let us try to practice. Let us try to apply that in our day-to-day life, so that our life can become more meaningful, more positive, and more easier, more comfortable for us. And then we can approach the final liberation inch by inch. And I hope and wish you all the very best, and long life and good health, with the blessings of the Noble Triple Gem. May you all be well, happy, healthy, safe wherever you are. May the Noble Triple Gem bless you, help you, protect you, and guide you towards the right path. Sukhi Dighayu Ko Bhava. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.